on my Facebook, I will share it with both of you. See, this has been the problem. It shows up on either YouTube or on Facebook, not both. Okay. So the workaround I found the last time was to share the YouTube version of it on Facebook. And that's probably what I'm going to do this time too. I'll give you one more shot. Nope, it's not going to happen. So here is that. That. Okay, it's shared on both your pages and the recording is started. And I want to welcome everybody to Any Sunday Songwriters. My guests this week are, this is the way it looks on my screen. I know it probably looks completely different on yours. Noah Fowler is just to my right, and he is now a resident of Nashville, which he just moved there. So we're very excited for Noah. Hi, Noah.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.
That's my roommate Brianna right there singing some harmonies. We got some musical roommates in Nashville. I'm sure that's a
rarity, right?
I know, right? Yeah. I thought it was a great idea of mine to,
Oh, it was. It was. Do you remember when we were little kids and we thought that nobody had ever hidden anything under a mattress until we came along?
All right, yeah.
Okay. Also, I'm delighted to have Donna Lynn Caskey, whom I met at the Far West Folk Alliance conference. I always forget to say that because it means something to me, but not necessarily to anyone else. Anyway, Donna is a banjo aficionado and a great songwriter, and we're delighted to have her here. And where do you live, Donna?
I live in Ventura, California. So,
okay.
Between LA and Santa Barbara on the coast of California. And I'm delighted to be here. So I'm glad you're delighted to have me.
Hey, so you don't actually live in a hotel room in someplace on the West Coast,
right? I think we've met in Oakland and maybe LA. I don't know. So it's nice to and online for the online conference this year. So
and somewhere near Seattle, wherever that was.
Oh, maybe Bellevue, right?
Yeah. So, and I'd like to welcome everybody. I'm really excited about being able to present these two people to you. And Noah, would you like to kick it off?
Absolutely. All right, this one's called Claire, I Swear. Claire, I swear that I'll treat you right. Give you my coat on a cliche cold old night. You may say that ship has sailed and crashed and burned and sank, but I'd still love to see you tonight. Don't you love it when I sing that song I wrote for you? You make February paradise. Claire, I swear that I'll treat you right. Claire, I swear that I understand. Though my fingers miss being wrapped in your hand. When you say that it's over, you need time to figure it out. Maybe take a year and live in Japan. Don't you love it when I sing that song I wrote for you? You make February paradise. Claire, I swear that I'll treat you right. As the season comes to an end, nothing fills my head like the things we'd wished we'd said. Don't you love it when I sing that song I wrote for you? You make February paradise. Claire, I swear that I'll treat you right. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And that was Brianna Berry right there on the
Lovely harmonies.
Yeah. Like, oh, can you flick on the light switch on your way?
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you
gonna
very
peace
much.
out. That was the song I am harmonizing on. And
All right.
have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
And Donna, don't forget to unmute. What you got for us?
All right. Great job, Noah. And again, welcome anybody who's hopped on the Zoom since we started here. So since it's Mother's Day in the United States, that somewhat informed my song choices of today. So I'm going to play a song called The Love Still Shows, in which my actual mother makes a cameo. So red geraniums planted with care, crooked bangs since Mom cut our hair, pink trim dress all washed up and pressed, unaware just how much I was blessed. No one meant to be cruel. They sent their baby off to school. Photos taken so long ago. My folks are gone. The love still shows. My folks are gone. The love still grows. A stranger's smile eased my despair. The friend who called out of nowhere, my heart touched by a hopeful song. The way you held me until the dawn, such little things have seen me through. Such little things can be so huge, more than we may ever know. The moments pass, the love still shows. The moments pass, the love still grows.
That was lovely.
Thanks, y'all.
So, since my keyboard is here and it's all tuned, I'm going to play you one that it's sort of apropos of nothing. I'm not even really sure where it came from. But it just sort of fell in my lap one day, and I could not say no because, as Janice Ian put it, saying no when you get a song is about the height of arrogance because you may never get another. So this is a one-off. Where are all the Gretas and Marlenas and all the Mae Wests? Where are they? No one tells the boys, come up and see me sometime. That's all out of style nowadays. But I still long for old-time steamy romance in satin gowns and stockings with seams and men that wear trench coats and fedora hats. I wish they'd bring that all back. 'Cause I want to be a femme fatale. I want to be a vamp. I want to whistle like Bacall and have 'em all eating from my hand. That put me on a pedestal, competing for my glance. I want to be a femme fatale. I want to be a vamp. Though I am a liberated woman, sometimes I'd prefer to be a tease. And when I see those starlets with eyes come hither soft, I could pull that off, it seems to me. See? And men would buy me clothes and bring me jewelry and open doors and pull me out a seat and then stand by politely until I sit, enjoy my sparkling wit, a little risque repartee with a femme fatale. I want to be a vamp. I want to be the party doll that upsets all their other plans. I know it isn't fashionable, but it's so elegant. I want to be a femme fatale. I want to be a vamp. Dietrich and Davis, they had it made. Mansfield and Monroe, hey, where'd they all go? Well, the women we admire now in the movies are all doctors and lawyers and chiefs. They don't flutter their lashes or swing their hips. They don't pout their lips or sit on anyone's knee. And if they're in some older profession, they've all been reformed by Act 3. They've given up their cigarettes and champagne. I guess we've come a long way, but I sure miss the day of the femme fatale. I want to be a vamp. I want to give the boys the eye, call some guy my honey lamb. I'd have 'em all in a spell. I'd have 'em in a trance if I was a femme fatale. I would be sensational. I want to be a fan. Thank you. I really do, you know. So we'll just keep going round and round like this. Noah, you're still great.
Yep.
Thank you. Yes, you're still great too.
Yeah. Trying to think of what to play next. I think I'm gonna play this song. Basically for the last year before I moved down here, I didn't have a car, so I'd use the railroads to get everywhere I wanted to go. I put a lot of miles down on my Amtrak account. I would go up to New York and down to Richmond and then up to Boston to see a lot of my friends. And one of my favorite train trips that I would take would I'd go from Philadelphia to Boston, and then from Boston I'd get off of Amtrak and get onto the commuter rail, and then take that as far north as it would go to a little town called Rockport. And Rockport is a magical little place. It was actually one of the last places I was before the pandemic. So I wrote this song about Rockport, and that's what it's called. It's on my album that's coming out in a little bit. Well, I lost my job about a week ago. Now I ain't got nothing but time to think about the things that I never got to do, and I just can't seem to get Rockport off my mind. You could take a train from Boston now, say Massachusetts, roll on by, with no job to hold me down, and my worries all behind, and I just can't seem to get Rockport off my mind. I just can't seem to get Rockport off my mind, nor the old Atlantic tide. When I get caught in life's weary ride, and I just can't seem to get Rockport off my mind. And I could work on a fishing boat, or at least I could try to sail the whole coast wide, in a place where my troubles are all so far away, and I just can't seem to get Rockport off my mind. Or I could open up a gallery and fill every wall with all the best artwork I could find. Maybe I could walk around and enjoy my peace of mind in Rockport. I'd find I just can't seem to get Rockport off my mind, nor the old Atlantic tide. When I get caught in life's weary ride, and I just can't seem to get Rockport off my mind. And I just can't seem to get Rockport off my mind. Thank you. Thank you.
That guitar would be fun with banjo and fiddle. Your guitar sound. Yeah, when I moved to California, I'm originally from Virginia, and I, with my banjo, I had been playing all of 3 weeks in a suitcase. I got on a train and came across the country to California, and that was almost 20 years ago. And learned to play the banjo a lot better in the meantime. But I was about, actually just, 3 weeks into my banjo adventure at that point. But, yay Amtrak. All right. So this is a song called Beauty Queen. And I don't know. It seems like a good message for guys to sing, but I guess this is to nurture the nurturers in a way. So here it goes. Strong, smart women who were agonized by the size of their thighs, who cursed dark circles under their eyes and any mark upon their skin. They reminisce about when they were thin. Then you grew up to look just like them. Well, I declare you're complete with flaws that make you dear to me. Darling, you're my beauty queen. Darling, you're my beauty queen. You were teased and tried to be tough when you were just a geeky teen reading grocery check stand magazines. Lose more weight to be enough. Look like a model to win their love. You never thought you measured up. Well, I declare you're complete with flaws that make you dear to me. Darling, you're my beauty queen. Darling, you're my beauty queen. Misprints make the most valuable stamps. Losing our balance is just part of the dance. Well, I declare you're complete with flaws that make you dear to me. Darling, you're my beauty queen. Darling, you're my beauty queen.
That was wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm jealous of your daughter.
I don't, well, I have banjos and a cat, so. But, put that message out to the world.
Yeah. So I've spent this pandemic year writing mainly and retrieving songs that somehow fell off the rails for reasons I couldn't say. This one was, and the main push behind all that was I joined challenge after challenge. I never refused one. And so consequently this year I've written more songs than I normally write in 5. And they're not all great. They're not even all good. But they're there. They exist. And I got lots of practice writing songs. And this was one that it was part of the first challenge I ever took. And it was 14 songs in 14 days. And it was with some friends that I had taken a class from a songwriting teacher from Berkeley School of Music in Boston. And he comes down to Austin every once in a while and does kind of a workshop for a weekend. And he phoned one of his students from Berkeley who was, at the time, she was in New Zealand. And she said something about writing 14 songs in 14 days, and all around the room, heads went up, and you could hear people thinking, I want to do that. So as soon as the weekend was over, we made arrangements to do it. Well, the last 3 days of the 14, I was going to New York, and I was sitting on the plane with the tyrannical blank page in my lap in front of me. And a conversation happened between me and the woman next to me. And it was just, even if I hadn't been looking for song ideas, this was one of the most unusual to me conversations with somebody on the plane that I had ever had. And here was the results. She says flying is impossible, and I sure hope she's wrong, 'cause we're on an airplane flying to New York City. And I'm writing this in shorthand so she cannot read the song, all about our conversation while flying to New York City. She says not all that long ago, people walked where they were going. No one thought about flying to New York City. People didn't move about as if they were leaves blowing in the wind, let alone flying to New York City. I said, I guess that makes this some kind of miracle, that people get on planes. She says, yes, 'cause flying is impossible, but it's still possible for us to have faith. This song may seem like fantasy, but what can you expect? After all, we're flying to New York City, and I'm having conversations with someone I just met, and it's all about miracles and faith and flying. Thank you.
Well, it's starting to rain here, so if you hear any crazy like thunder or lightning or anything, I've learned that that's pretty typical Nashville weather.
Yep.
There's like I'm from Pennsylvania, and then I live in Boston in Canada. I've been in hurricanes less crazy than just an average day of Tennessee weather. It's wild. I'm gonna play another one that I wrote recently. This one is called "Gone Again." Well, she came and left like headlights through your window at night. Makes you feel warm like an incandescent light. Or a breeze coming after a long and weary wind. It was like she was there, but now she's gone again. And you feel the heat when you're walking around in the road. when Mother Nature can make up her mind which way the wind will blow. You don't even know if you'll ever get to see her again. It was like she was there, but now she's gone again. We talked about things we didn't even understand. Like love and the way solitude changes a man. And it went from midnight to 3 real quick and then came to an end. It was like she was there, but now she's gone again. And if life was a picture, she'd be there with you forever. When pictures start to move, get used to the idea that you gotta move on. Cars moving on, headlights in your window start to fade. You learn to hate yourself for choosing it to end this way. You stumble out of bed to chase down those lights in your head. She was right there in front of you, now she's gone again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yay. All right, I guess I'm up again. And then so we've had trains and planes so far, and I saw Jan pop something up in the comment, like maybe a car song. I was like, well, I think this next song I picked, I think it's got ships in it anyway. And kind of echoing some of the sentiments that both Noah and Jan have shared, that this pandemic time has been a big time of writing for me too. And, you know, Jan mentioned song challenges, and I've been doing something for a little over a year, a song a week challenge to an optional prompt. And then I'm also in something called Bushwick Book Club, which I know one of our Bushwick regular audience members has popped through, and I think one of my fellow compadres in Bushwick Book Club, where a bunch of songwriters take turns picking books and writing songs, however loosely or directly inspired. So this is one of my Bushwick Book Club songs that was inspired by the first book in the Outlander series, and I must confess that romance novels ain't my genre. Wasn't my favorite book, but it just goes to show you don't have to like the book to get a song out of it. So this was my retort to romance novels, shall we say. And no, sorry if you're an Outlander fan, but at any rate, that was a funny source of this song. This is probably the second time I've played it too, so we'll see how this goes. Not enough time, too much work, long commutes, on and on went our excuses. Now that all excuses are gone, we're left standing here and there's still something wrong. afraid of losing, though longing for more. Nobody knows all time has in store, longing for something that's not guaranteed. Does it even exist outside of a dream? Beautiful and true, beautiful and true. I want a love that's beautiful and true. Beautiful and true, beautiful and true. I want a life that's beautiful and true. I've had a taste of passion before, left me shipwrecked upon a false shore. Old, married, addicted, or drunk, a few rounds of that were more than enough. Don't wanna be left with regret like my mother. Flowers long faded, sick, bitter, the martyr. Escaping her life, reading romance novels. Wasting our precious time would be awful. Beautiful and true, beautiful and true. I want a love that's beautiful and true. Beautiful and true, beautiful and true. I want a life that's beautiful and true. What's the best way to go moving forward? Where will we land if our course isn't altered? Stay together or set ourselves free? We want to be happy, is that so naive? Beautiful and true, beautiful and true. I want a love that's beautiful and true. Beautiful and true, beautiful and true. I want a life that's beautiful and true. I want a life that's beautiful and true. Thank you.
Me too. Well, I have to say, I kind of appreciated the time this year to get things like that done. And I've also, I mean, my husband and I were talking the other night about how we've just spent a year in the house together and nobody died. Yeah, so that's a good thing, right? And also, I've kind of gotten to know my neighbors better than I did before because, for one thing, when this all first started, I took my cue from the people in Italy and I set up a keyboard on the front porch and gave a little serenade on Friday nights for a few weeks until it got too hot and then until it got too cold. And, we had conversations, them standing in the street and me sitting on the front porch. Plus our next door neighbors. Well, that's what this song is about. I'm going to tell you all about my neighbors in this song. Across my street live Wade and Laurel, 4 kids in a lovely floral garden. Hybrid cars so they don't make too much carbon. Always there to do a friend a favor, happily, they're good neighbors. Sue and Duke live one house further, wide veranda and a lawn he nurtures often. Glad to see you if you come a-knockin'. Sitting on the porch with the evening paper, happily, they're good neighbors too. Here in the center of the universe, we've got everything we need in our little neighborhood. We've got it so good. This is where the flute solo here in the center of the universe. Everything we need in our little neighborhood. We've got it so good, knock on wood. Right next door live Kyle and Lindsay, family of 4, warm and friendly people. Backyard full of chicks and goats and a beagle. Eggs and cheese, what could be greater? Happily, they're good neighbors too. I figured out that one of the reasons all my neighbors have chickens is so that I don't have to. Always glad to do a friend a favor. Happy to, 'cause they're good neighbors. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, we've all learned a whole lot of American Sign now, haven't we?
All right. Well, this next one is another train song. I got a bunch of train songs. It's called the Gandy Dancer, and the Gandy Dancer was a term for like Irish railroad workers back around like the year like 1900 to 1915, 1920-ish, like pre-World War One, and the sort of last days of the Great Wild West, yeah. I use a lot of like Irish storytelling motifs in my writing, and especially in this song. And yeah, so hope you enjoy this. So this one's also I'm playing a lot of the songs that are coming out soon, so keep an eye out if you like it. This is the story of a Gandy dancer who found a child by the rails, far away from the town and wearing a thin green veil. He asked the child for her hand, she came and the child replied to him not, just looked away and looked down at the rails and began to sing this song. I am the flood, I am the rain, I am your home that washed away, I am the healing wind, I've come to heal this land again. Ooh. And I am here to tear you down. He looked at the child with amusement and shock, and the child looked back at him, then blinked once or twice and sat down over yonder by the rocks. Then a flash of lightning shook the sky, and the thunder gave a roar. The Gandy dancer turned on his heel and ran, and the tracks by the storm was destroyed. Gandy dancer returned the next day for to fix everything that was broke. He fixed the rails and hammer nails so the train could travel on, he hoped. Then the child returned one day, and the Gandy dancer looked on in fear. 'cause all of his work was washed away again, and the child sang as she did her work. I am the flood, I am the rain, I am your home that washed away, I am the healing wind, I'm guardian of these here lands, and I am here to tear you down. Child left the rails as she did the first time. The rails, they were thoroughly destroyed. So the candy dancer quit his job after that and went back home to Illinois. Thank you guys. Thanks for the claps.
Very cool song.
Thank you.
I got to do a spot of banjo tuning here, so maybe talk amongst yourselves for a second.
I'll tune out loud while you tune quietly. There we go. That's horrible enough. There's some background music for that.
All right, let's see.
There you go.
Does that sound like a real chord? Okay. So, yeah, I really like that song. So there was a lost child in that song, or I guess a found child. And then the song I'm going to play, it's called Lost Mother. And it's actually another book club song I wrote, or inspired loosely by his Dark Materials series by Philip Pullman. So this is called Dark Mother or Lost Mother, and I kind of wondered, is this song kind of too dark? But I shared it for someone and who had adopted kids out of foster care, and it's like, no, some of whom had lost their mother. So it's like, okay, there's a place for every song, an audience for every song. And kind of like Noah's song, I liked how the character was the wind and the rain. So this mother gets personified as a lot of things too. Arctic cold wind and snow, mother, clenched fist hard control, mother, brung you in, could take you out, mother, could kill you, make you stronger, mother, no pink cards or rose bouquets, mother, could barely take care of yourself, mother, still a child yourself. Mother, the gift of life was not enough. Mother, mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, where do you go? Mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, where do you go? You think you've had it bad, daughter? Hate me, go ahead, daughter. I know it ain't been easy, daughter. You got it better than you know, daughter. You better listen to me, daughter. You better grow up fast, daughter, if only you knew. Daughter, what I've been through. Daughter, mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, where'd you go? Mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, where'd you go? I thought I forgave you, mother. I learned to be grateful, mother. I thought I let you go, mother. You're here now more than ever, mother. My body turns into yours, mother. Not yet your age when I was born, mother. You're long dead and gone, mother. I still dream of you, mother. Mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, where do you go? Mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, where do you go? Thank you.
I'm not sure there's any such thing as too dark, you know?
Not in my opinion, really, but I mean, I know, to each their own.
Well, I'm going to do something I don't usually do because I have this new song. It was written for Earth Day, or maybe it was written for Arbor Day, which came a little later in the month, and it took a while to get this finished. Or maybe it's just there. Who knows? So the thing is, I sang it last night for a song circle, and it kind of... trying to find it now. Here it is. I can hear the harmonies, and I want you to hear them too. So I'm going to share my sound and play you a song so that you can hear everything that I put on the recording instead of just part of it. Because to me, after the harmonies were there, they were kind of necessary. So something weird is going to happen to the screen when I do this. Try not to worry about it. It's fine. See? And here is the song. Or at least I hope so. Can y'all hear that? Great. In the name of my mother, I will plant a tree. In the name of my father, I will plant another. In the name of my sister and also of my brother, I will plant a tree. I will plant a tree for the good of my children. I will plant a tree for the good of their children. I will plant another for the good of my friends and also of my lover. I will plant a tree. I will plant a tree. I will plant birds. I will plant bees. I will plant hope. And I will plant dreams. I will plant for the children yet to be. I will plant a tree. I will plant a tree. the month of May, I will plant another. As all the months go by, one after the other, I will plant a tree. I will plant a tree. I will plant birds. I will plant bees. I will plant hope. And I will plant dreams. I will plant for the children yet to be. I will plant a tree. I will plant a tree. I will never sit in the shade of it or any trees I plant today. But I will take delight in these trees anyway, anyway. I will plant birds. I will plant bees. I will plant hope. And I will plant dreams. I will plant for the children yet to be. I will plant a tree. I will plant a tree. I will plant trees. Thank you.
All right. Also, I think I gotta head out in about 15 minutes because I gotta go over to Franklin, Tennessee to sign up for an open mic at the Franklin, the Mockingbird Theater down there in true
Okay,
Nashville
well,
fashion, if that's all right. But
before you go,
yeah, I still got like 15 minutes though before I have to leave.
oh, good. Well,
I want to let you know well in advance. Yeah.
since we're in this space and you and I are both audible, tell everybody where they can find you next and where they can find you online.
Oh, well, you can absolutely find me if you're in Nashville. But my website, I'll type it in right there. It's just my name, noahgfowler.com. And that's got all my links on there. You can find everything under that name, Noah G. Fowler, on Instagram. You can find some of my music on Spotify, though I've got some really, really nice stuff coming out July 2nd.
Cool.
Yeah, I actually went up to Boston to record it. I rode up on a train. Probably why most of the songs are about trains, because I was, on the train a lot.
You should talk to Charlie Mossbrook, because that's
Yeah?
how he gets around too. He's in a wheelchair, so he doesn't have a whole lot of options, and trains are not only an
Yeah.
option, they're great.
Yeah, I really like it, and I think I'm happy that we're getting some more Amtrak expansion. It would be great if everybody used it, because then the prices would be a lot cheaper. But I think in the next couple of years, Nashville is going to get a connection to Memphis, where there's an Amtrak station. So I'll get to get back on the trains eventually. But
Yay. And Donna, while we're on the subject, where can people find you?
Okay. So I think my screen name, Donalyn Caskey, if you look up DonalynCaskey.com, and I can stick that in the chat as well. The next show I have coming up, actually that book club I mentioned, we've got a showcase in a week on May 15th. And the book this time was Keith Richards' autobiography with his ghostwriter buddy, Justin Fox. So that was interesting. I enjoyed it better than I thought. especially the parts about creative process and writing and music and sound more than some of the sex, drugs, and rock and roll stuff. But hey, whatever, goes with the territory. So that's coming up next week. And then I hope I've been writing a whole lot this past year. So hopefully sooner than later I can get back in the studio too. But some of the songs I shared today have been from my latest album, The Love Still Shows. So I got 2 out there and on the platforms and whatnot. So I appreciate y'all tuning in and listening today, and whoever's on the streaming services out there or the replay, thanks for listening. And thanks, Jan.
That writing is a great way to stave off the anxiety, isn't it?
Or at least make something out of it.
Yeah.
You can always make something out of it, people. Yeah.
Okay, so Noah?
I'm gonna play a bluegrass song if that's all right.
Okay.
A big reason why I moved down here was to be close to all the great bluegrass musicians in Nashville. And this is my favorite bluegrass song. I listen to a lot of old music because I find it inspires me a lot and it inspires my writing. And this is definitely an inspiring song. It's sort of about going back home and finding out that home has changed since you left. It's called Old Home Place. It's been 10 long years since I left my home in Hyler, where I was born, where the cool fall nights make the wood smoke rise and the fox hunter blows his horn. And I fell in love with a girl from the town and thought that she would be true, but she ran away to Charlottesville, and I worked in a sawmill or two. What had they done to the old home place? Why did they tear down? Why did I leave the plow in the field, work for a job in the town? Now my girl ran off with somebody else. The taverns took all of my pay, and here I stand where the old home stood before they took it all away. Now the geese fly south and the cold wind moans as I stand here and hang my head. I lost my home and I lost my love. Now I wish that I was dead. What have they done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? Why did I leave the plow in the field, work for a job in the town? What have they done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave the old plow in the field, work for a job in the town? Yeah. That's one of my favorite songs ever.
Couldn't you hear me singing through Zoom on the chorus now? No. All right. Well, I too, I guess I've been more inspired by sort of the grandma of bluegrass music, old time music. And of course that comes through the banjo, why I was drawn to clawhammer style banjo. And before I learned how to play banjo, I was an old time singer. So I guess I'll share a song for you inspired out of the old time tradition, since we're letting our roots show, right? So at any rate, and I guess today being Mother's Day, this speaks to sort of the maternal archetype or divine mother throughout cultures and time. Oh, my child, my blessed child, before you leave, please stay. your breaking heart a while. Stay a while. Oh, stay a while. Oh, my child, my blessed child, before you leave, please stay a while. Ease your breaking heart a while. I'm reaching out to you.
Wow. That was gorgeous.
Thank you.
So, in this mother mode and in the story mode, where you can find me online is at jansides.com, and it's spelled just like it is in that little box there. I am about to do something from my most recent project. It's not the latest songs, but it's songs that were based on Bible stories where the person didn't get a chance to speak, or you didn't get introduced to them, or sometimes you didn't even learn their names, and their story was never told. And I have kind of an inflated sense of responsibility, so I decided I was going to tell those stories. And the reason I noticed it was because of the woman in this story who was responsible basically for 8 of the 12 tribes, and yet somehow got 2 sentences in the Bible. One of which was that she had either weak or cow-like eyes, depending on what translation you read and how you translate the original. So this is about her, and it's about motherhood, and it's about a lot of things. As far back as I remember, I was always Rachel's sister. Sometimes I think that started before she was even born. She was lively, she was clever, and everybody loved her. And when the men came looking, it was Rachel they looked for, not me. I was Rachel's sister. Jacob saw her fetching water, asked if she was Laban's daughter, and she ran home to let us know, to make room for one more. I fell in love that night at dinner. He never saw for watching her, and when the meal was over, it was Rachel he asked for, not me. Rachel's sister. This is the story as it is written, but those were the lives we were living. Here is the truth, not the one that others told. It's the one that I know. I am Rachel's sister. They said Jacob was the trickster, but my father brought me forward on Rachel's wedding day, draped in veils upon his arm. But then Jacob worked the harder, and for Rachel too he bartered. Still, I thought I'd win him when each new son was born. To me, Rachel's sister. like you gave my sister and prove that you love me. Prove you love me more. So then one night he did it, and little Joseph was his favorite. But Rachel died in childbirth when her second son was born, leaving me, Rachel's sister. This is the story as it is written, but those were the lives we were living. Here is the truth, not the one that others told. It's the one that I know. I am Rachel's sister. Every now and then I wonder, is he still thinking of her? Though I'm the one that keeps him warm when the nights are cold. Did she love him as I love him? Or did she just love to win? But she is blessed memory, so I will never know. I am only Rachel's sister. So this is the story as it is written, but those were the lives we were given. And here is the truth, not the one the old men told. It's the one that I know. I am Rachel's sister, and it can only be told by Rachel's sister. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, well, I think I can stay for one more song, if that's all right.
Okay.
This one is called Stockbroker, 1928. And that's the perspective it's written from. I find it's kind of a satire about kind of hubris and kind of that sort of moment where the protagonist is very greedy and sort of a lot of pride before the fall kind of thing. So yeah, this is a Stockbroker 1928. Home is where the heart is now, but there's money in the stars. Follow them numbers, trust the line, drive expensive women and cars. And even in the worst of times, there's money to make. If you think about it when you lose, you know it's how the stockbroker's empire is made. And every man's got his price, and the law is just for fools. When the going gets tough, my friend, the tough are gonna change the rules. And faith can move a mountain now of inventory that sacrifice to the line, and the money will be his. Make sure you hear everything said by everyone, but don't trust a word of it now, or you'll be taken for when the going gets tough, my friend, the tough. We're gonna change the rules, said the tough now. They're gonna change the rules. Thank you very much. And thank you so much for having me. This is a lot of fun. I love doing these. And yeah, best of luck with everything you're working on. Woody Guthrie. Oh yeah, I love Woody Guthrie. I love Woody Guthrie songs. Yeah.
Thanks so much for being here, Noah.
Yes. And it was nice to meet you, Jan, over Zoom again. I think we met a couple months ago. Or maybe a
Do you
couple weeks
remember
ago.
where?
I believe it was like the Growler open mic.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I think so. I could be wrong. And it was nice to meet you, Donna, as well. I love your banjo playing and your songwriting. And I hope to cross paths with both of you sometime in the future.
Yeah, maybe even in real life.
Yeah, if either of you are coming through Nashville, then let me know and we can get together and play sometime.
All right.
That'd be lovely.
All right.
See
Well,
you guys.
best wishes. Take care. Good to hear you.
Thank you.
All right, Jan. So we're gonna keep going a little
We
bit.
are. We are.
How's our audience? Thank you, Arturo and Peter, for being here, and Andy and Mr. Grace, man, if you're still there, we appreciate you. Appreciate Jan as well. Well, okay, I'll play another. So again, like I said, my song choices have been informed, however, directly, loosely by Mother's Day, and here's another song that actually references some literal things about my own mother versus other facets of motherhood out there, or character mothers, shall we say. Let's see. Is everybody muted? There's like a hum thing. Let's see. Or maybe it's on my end. Oh, there we go. Okay, thanks. I thought my parents' marriage passed its expiration date. As a kid, I prayed they'd get divorced in their icy stalemate. Mom ended up in a nursing home. Dad spent every day by her side. Forgiveness of unfinished business. Turned out love was still alive. She didn't die cured, but there was a whole lot of healing. Odds are for beating. Odds are for beating. As long as we're still breathing, there's a chance of change for the best. In ways we least expect, odds are for beating. Odds are for beating. Years later, my dad had cancer. Back and forth to the ICU. Through surgery, chemotherapy, close calls, and a feeding tube. Surprised each time he went back home, even able to go on his walks. Through pain, he kept on smiling. He knew about beating odds. He didn't die for beating. As long as we're still breathing, there's a chance of change for the best in ways we least expect. Odds are for beating. Odds are for beating.
That was lovely.
Thank you.
That's so funny. I read this quote apropos of an article on UFOs and people who study them. What makes us think, how could we possibly believe that we know everything there is to know about how things are going to turn out? That applies in so many areas. So as a result of that project that I described earlier and sang a song from, most of the songs were women, not all, it turned out, because after a while the songs started to kind of write themselves, and there were characters that I hadn't thought of when I started it that spoke up and said, no, write about me. And I had to, because that was the game. And then I started realizing that everything was kind of dark and gloomy and I needed something lighter. So I went looking for humor. You ever gone looking for humor in the Bible? You have to bring it with you, otherwise it ain't there. So this was one of the bring it with you kind of songs. Dear Mama, you ask if I am enjoying my place as Solomon's latest wife. Yeah, it's got its moments. What can I say? It's a life. Right now, I'm his darling, and I'm calling that a plus. Though the other wives say his attentions will fade when a new face inspires his lust. That's why there's so many of us. No, Mom, he doesn't sing like his father did, at least not when he's with me. But he's built a beautiful temple, Mama, and he writes decent poetry. Oh, he's a glorious king to be sure, and masterful in the boudoir, and you might think that's all he is good for, but really, he's pretty smart. Just last week, 2 women quarreled about a baby they both claimed. When he offered to cut the child in 2, we all thought he'd gone insane. But it sure got that knot untangled, so if he doesn't sing like his father did, he's still all right with us, 'cause he's built a beautiful temple, Mama, and his poetry makes us blush. Well, Mom, I gotta go now. I'll try to write more later, 'cause it seems there's a queen needs my room for a bit, and they say that she's wealthy and oh so bewitching. And the king's so excited he's positively twitching, and I just became second rate. But oddly enough, I don't hate her, 'cause he doesn't sing like his father did, and I'm bored with his poetry. So though he's built a beautiful temple, Mama, she can have him, it's okay with me. Thank you.
Way to go. Bringing your humor with you.
Whatever it was, there she is.
All right. So, I guess I'll play another book song. Hopefully Arturo and company ain't bored with my book songs. Yeah, and always when I write a song inspired by a book, I hope to have a song that stands or has a life in the world beyond that exercise. But then I guess, material is everywhere. Obviously, I mean, heck, Jan, you just wrote from a book, right? It's all human stuff throughout the ages. The human condition. So this was actually inspired by Virginia Woolf's book, The Waves, which is all interior monologue it starts with children and then going through their lives. So I guess the seed of the song was interior monologue from the perspective of a child. And then also this other song thing I did, there was a prompt one week of have something about a candle in a song without mentioning candle. So I think this one worked for that too. So at any rate, you never know what'll spring from these things. Sometimes they're keepers. Family crowding over me, singing happy birthday to me. Puff a breath, make a wish. I can't help but laugh and grin. But even by 5 years old, I wanna keep my expression under control. I don't wanna show how I feel, how much anything matters to me. Please don't tease. I've already learned to keep myself a secret. Swallow it down like buttercream roses, even if it's too sweet, even if it hurts the tummy and the teeth. Paper plates with slices of cake, tug of war taking place in my face. Cheeks try to lift to a smile, lips pull shut, mouth tight, same as when I wanna cry. Wet lump in my throat, tears sealed in my eyes. I don't wanna show how I feel, how much anything matters to me. Please don't tease. I've already learned to keep myself a secret. Swallow it down like buttercream roses, even if it's too sweet, even if it hurts the tummy and the teeth. Unwrap toy bunnies that hug, they break apart before the party's done. Mom will fix them, sew them back together. She'll do it later, don't bother her. Later keeps turning to never. Never mind, now I know better. I don't want to show how I feel, how much anything matters to me. Please don't tease. I've already learned to keep myself a secret. Swallow it down like buttercream roses, even if it's too sweet, even if it hurts the tummy and the teeth. Swallow it down like buttercream roses, even if it's too sweet, even if it hurts the tummy and the teeth, even if it hurts me. Thanks, y'all.
Wow. So I did want to mention we do this. Theoretically, we do it every other Sunday, but sometimes it turns out it's more than that. It used to be second Sunday at a bricks and mortar place, and when that became impossible, I put it online, and it took me about a week to realize that I was no longer glued to the second Sunday. I could put it on any Sunday, which is how it got named that. And secondly, that I could call on people from all over the planet to join me in this. And so we have the occasional person from Israel and from England and from a couple of other places come join us. And if you'd like to know when and who the guests are going to be, if you put your email in the chat, y'all know about the chat, right? Everybody knows about the chat? Okay, good. Put your email there, and I'll make sure that you hear about each of the shows. There is one more this month on the 23rd, and that will be Katie Dahl from Michigan and Bill Aspinwall from here in Texas. I believe he's in Houston. And next month, we have Mandy Thomas, who is from somewhere in England, not absolutely certain where. And she's paired with somebody from Texas. There's people from all over the place, including from the West Coast. We have Severin Brown one week in June. Yeah, these are all. I'm just so happy to be able to say these are all people I am proud to present. And so if you want to be part of the party, please put your name in the email, and I'll be glad to make that happen for you. So we're going to do prompt songs now, are we? See, I've been doing this thing called Song Tribe, and it's also once a week, and you get your prompt on Monday morning. And the person who runs it in Australia, so morning could mean just about anything. If you don't have it in by midnight on Sunday night, then you can't turn anything in for 3 weeks. They call it going to jail. And every time I see the new prompt, my first thought is, oh, I'm going to jail this time. And appropriately enough, the prompt for this one was busted. And I had nothing by 5 o'clock on Sunday night, so I fixed it. I keep a bust of Beethoven before me on the piano. I keep a bust of Beethoven to remind me that even in calamity, tomorrow still holds possibility. So I keep a bust of Beethoven where I can see. I keep a bust of Beethoven where I can see. I keep a bust of Bach before me on the piano. I keep a bust of Bach to remind me that though the task is difficult, it still can yield a fine result. So I keep a bust of Bach where I'll remember. I keep a bust of Bach where I can see. And Chopin could not go home, and Mozart died in poverty. So many of them died so very young, and still they left us so much beauty. So I keep a bust of Brahms before me on the piano. I keep a bust of Brahms to remind me that though your heart is breaking, your art can be your saving grace. So I keep a bust of Brahms to help me remember. I keep a bust of Brahms where I can see. I keep a bust of Beethoven. I keep a bust of Bach. I keep a bust of Brahms where I can see. Thank you.
Yay.
We're talking about those little busts that you give people after their recitals.
Yeah, no. I caught that, but well, Jen, this is kind of like my last song, I think. If I didn't know it was going to bail out so early.
Nor did I.
Yeah. So, but I'm glad those who are here.
Yes.
So can we call this our last lap?
By all means.
Okay. And I think I'm even in tune. Wow. All right. All right. So mute, por favor. Maybe it's just because I have headphones, but I get a kind of a loopy hum thing going. And I guess, so this is another song inspired. Oh, what?
No, that was at Jim, who busty flat in Baton Rouge.
Oh, okay. Oops. What? Okay. So this last song, because in the theme of the day, inspired by Mother Earth in a way. Might need a tune again. I think I lied about being in tune. Oh, the banjo's been so good. It is so good, even though it fluctuates with atmospheric conditions. But then again, so do I. So. Well, thanks again, Jan, for inviting me to do this.
My pleasure, Donna.
And for folks spending their Sunday, whatever time it is, where you're at. All right. So Jan, could you mute, por favor?
Oh, yes.
Ah, there you go. There's an electronic hum because it's our Zoom amplification or something. So, at any rate. What have you endured, little bird? Migrate across continents, navigate with confidence. Though your flock diminished, your habitat vanished, still you take wings, still you sing. And the birds sing, tra-la-la. The birds sing the song of creation. We are but creatures, created and creators. We can heal the old wounds, become more and more attuned, make life sustainable. Peace is attainable. All have enough to eat, meet everyone's basic needs, tend the sick, the old and young, shelter for everyone. And the birds sing, tra-la-la. The birds sing the song of creation. We are but creatures, created and creators. In that state of grace where we all feel safe, we may know and grow the gifts of our souls. Love and light magnify, abundance will multiply, to bless one another, thank the Creator. And the birds sing, tra-la-la. The birds sing the song of creation. We are but creatures created and creators. The birds sing tra-la-la. The birds sing the song of creation. We are but creatures created and creators. Thank you. Thanks again, folks, for listening and being here. And now closing us out, our wonderful host, Jan Seides.
Thank you. So, I don't know what to say about this one, except that I had a conversation with someone in which we were talking about how greedy people have gotten, and his take on it was that they've been that greedy since there have been people. And mine was, we used to know this. We used to know this. It wasn't only Native Americans that knew it. We used to know it too. And what changed, I think, possibly was the Industrial Revolution, but I do know that there's in the back somewhere we know this still. Let me show you the caves of Lascaux, where horses and deer and buffalo dance on the walls and the ceilings and the arches above. Ancient and sacred, a gift from the artist's hands. Come with me back to a time when we were young. Follow the herds from an African sun. Enter the caves where they all freely run. And the artist traced his hand in the caves of Lascaux. Here in our 21st century myth, we all think we live by some God-given plan, and all life on earth is for our benefit, ours for the taking, as fast as we can. But come with me back to a time when we were young. Follow the herd from an African sun. Enter the caves where they all freely run. And the artist traced his hand in the caves of Lascaux. Come kneel in the torchlight, come bow your head, give thanks to your brother, by whose grace you will be fed. And come with me back to a time when we were young. Follow the herd from an African sun. Enter the caves where they all freely run. And the artist traced his hand in the caves of Lascaux. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy to be able to present such wonderful music to you. Donna Lynn Caskey can be found at donnalyncaskey.com. I can be found at janseides.com. If you'd like to find these shows again, put your email on the chat. And have a wonderful rest of a Mother's Day.
Thank you so much. And I loved I loved how our last two songs especially went together, Jan. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I did too. Good night.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Good to see y'all.
Oh, Andy, are you at your computer?
He's mysterious. Mysterious.
Yeah. I just like to have people uncloak to say goodbye.
Yeah. Or have you met Arturo? Jan, meet Arturo.
No. Hi, Arturo.
Meet Jan.
It's good to meet you. I take it you're part of the book club.
I am.
And you also play uke.
I'm going to. I was just changing the strings.
He plays guitar too. He's a great songwriter. He's part of the extended connected group. So
I might have to come seek out your extended connected group.
right. Well, you're already part of it. I mean,
Jen,
just separate.
where are you located?
I'm in Austin, Texas.
In Texas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have wonderful songwriting abilities. Great songs.
Thank you. Thanks
I-
very much.
Love it. Yeah. Very nice.
That means so much more coming from a fellow songwriter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you have a way with the lyrics, and yeah, those songs from the Bible, they were really good.
Thanks. They were a labor of love.
They all are. Yeah.
Isn't it true? Yeah. Well, I'm going to go finish my Song Tribe song. So
There you go. Yeah.
yeah,
I gotta rate my book club song. I got a week, right? Okay.
I
All
have
right.
about 4 hours.
Oh wow. Yeah. You got
Bye-bye.
it. Bye. Good to see you, Arturo.